All right, traders, I'm back on the green streak. This is now my second green day in a row. Had a killer day within Trader Society. I'm currently 3 for 3. The portfolio was up 7% on the day. The best trade that was made was buying some Roblox put options towards market open, making a 40% return in 3 minutes of trading. Towards the end of this video, I'm going to be recapping the trades on how I was able to make a 7% return on the portfolio. First things first, we're going to go over how to trade the best setups at the best prices. Tomorrow is going to be Friday. If you decide to trade the contracts that expire tomorrow, the very high risk ones with high reward, make sure you scale back in your position size and let the percentage of the contracts do the work for you and lock in your profits. So this video is going to help prepare you to trade the best setups at the best prices. This is what I'm currently looking at. I'm going to be recapping the trades towards the end of this video. Let's get right into the updated price action analysis. So in terms of the SPY had a big day today, currently up 1.51%, very micro bullish here. With that being said, in terms of the micro, I want you to think of the SPY as it's sitting in a price channel. And the high of this price channel is going to be at $450.58. And the low of this price channel is going to be where there's a gap to fill below. There's a gap to fill below right here at $443.80, right? So we're going to draw some trend lines. This is going to be the overall bottom of the micro support channel. And then towards the top, I really want you to think of, in terms of the top, $450.41. That's what I want you to think of, right? This is where SPY closed at 450.41. And as you can see, there is a gap that has been filled. There was a gap to fill right here at $449.59. As soon as SPY filled the gap, it had a nice little micro pullback. That was one of my successful trades. I played it as soon as the gap filled and it started forming resistance at 449.70s. I played puts. I made a quick 20% return on that in a couple of minutes. I'll be recapping that trade using the watch list that I had sent out to members, stating that the best price to buy SPY put options, as you could see right here, would be $449.59, which would be the best price, to do some micro puts. I played those micro puts, and within a couple of minutes, SPY dropped literally $1, and you could have made a quick 20% just like that. And I was playing very safe in the money contracts, with the very tight stop loss. That was the trade that ended my portfolio being up 7% on the day. And then I had a killer trade on Roblox. But in terms of the SPY right now, what I want you to understand is it's make it or break it for the micro. We're sitting in a price channel. There's a gap to fill below. It just filled the gap above. So if the SPY gaps up tomorrow, I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't really do anything with it. What I would do is I would wait. I would wait for it to fill the gap below. So if SPY gaps up, I would wait for it to go back to 450, 450.41 to fill the gap below. That's what I would do. If it reacts as a support level, if this strong resistance reacts as a support level, SPY is going to pump, and it's going to try to pump to right around here, which would be the next resistance level at 452.78. If that breaks out and turns into support, then you're looking at a nice run to 457.50. So that's what you need to understand in terms of, being bullish. If SPY gaps up tomorrow and then it fills the gap, it bottoms out, it starts to have a reversal, it climbs back up, it would be on track for 452.60. If it goes above 452.60, then it pushes to 457. Now, in terms of, bearish price action, if the SPY can crack this key resistance level, if it can crack this level, turn it back into a resistance level. Right now it's trying to break out, it's trying to react to support. If SPY can break down below this 450.50 level and start forming resistance and start breaking down, it's going to be a great shorting opportunity tomorrow to buy some put options and start to play for this gap to fill below. So it's make it or break it in terms of the micro price action for the SPY. In terms of the daily chart and how does this candlestick look, this candlestick does look very, very bullish for the micro. It really does. That's a strong bullish candle coming in on the SPY. And a lot of stocks are forming some very bullish candlesticks towards their key resistance levels. You can see right here, like Roblox, a lot of these stocks are forming the same pattern where they're retesting their key resistance, and now they're starting to turn bullish and they're trying to, rocket again. AMC is kind of doing a similar thing with that candle, right? So they're all kind of doing that same pattern in a sense. So we're gonna have to watch how these react closely. Now, if the SPY gaps down tomorrow, wait for it to go back to the previous closing price. If it gaps down tomorrow, wait for it to spike back up to 450.50. If it reacts as a resistance, it's going to be a great put option opportunity. So that's kind of the game plan for the SPY. I just want you to understand we're in a micro channel in terms of the daily chart. This is a strong bullish candlestick coming in. So if it gaps up, I'm waiting for it to go back to 450.50. If it gaps down, I'm waiting for it to rip back up to 450.50, right? If it doesn't rip back up, then I'm waiting for this gap to fill below. There's a gap to fill below on the SPY at 443.80. This is the best price to buy some micro calls. The strategy works. Look at this. There was a gap to fill below right here on the SPY, as you could see, at $444.39. As soon as it fills the gap, it rips up and then it starts to fill this gap. This gap has now filled. If it can react as a resistance level, start to break down, it's going to repeat history and try to go back down to fill this gap below, which is slightly lower than the previous gap, right? So that's what we're looking at on the SPY. That's going to be the game plan. We want to study the key reactions to that support and to that resistance, channel. And if this can turn back into resistance and start to break down, it's going to be a great micro put opportunity to play some put options for the gap to fill below. Once this gap fills, it's going to be a great opportunity to buy some micro calls for it to spike back up, right? And we're trading these key levels. So this line and this line, these are the key levels we're trading at. Not looking to trade at any other levels. So I'm just waiting to see how it reacts at, those key critical levels, right? So that's the game plan on SPY. And I gave you the analysis in terms of, trading it both ways. Now, in terms of other stocks that I'm looking at, AMC is on the radar. There's a gap to fill on AMC at 2074. Once it fills the gap, if it reacts as a resistance level, it struggles to break out, then I'm going to be looking to do some micro put options, write it back down into the 1950s. That would be the game plan for the micro trade. Now, if AMC can break above this resistance and turn this key gap fill level right here at 2074, right? If it can break above that and turn it into support, it's going to start to run back up to $22. If it can go above 22 and turn that into support, it's going to start to rocket to fill this gap at $25.49, which is the best price to buy put options on AMC and to short it for the micro, right? So I just want you to understand in terms of AMC, it is trying to fill the gap, and overall it should go up to fill that gap at $20.71. If it breaks out, reacts as support, it's going to push to like 22. If it fails to break out at 2070 and it starts reacting as resistance, it's going to be on track to go back to 1950s. So it is going to be make it or break it for the micro price action, on a lot of these stocks. A lot of these stocks are towards their key resistance levels with big downside potential. They are still holding up. They are still attempting to turn it into support levels. And we're getting down to the nitty gritty. We're really getting down to that make it or break it zone on a lot of these tickers, not just AMC, SPY, a lot of these for the micro. I'm speaking for the short term, for the micro price action, for the in and out day trades. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing how it reacts at 2080. If it breaks out past 2080, we're looking at $22. If it breaks down, we're looking at a pullback to 19s. That's thoughts on AMC in terms of both ways. That 2080 level, that 2074 gap fill is truly going to determine where that trend reversal is going to occur, or if it's just going to keep ramping up. So we want to study how it reacts towards that key critical make it or break it level. You can also see, if you study the past of AMC, this used to be a very solid support level right here at $20.80 with big upside. Well, once it cracked and turned into a resistance level right here, it had a massive sell-off. So it's truly make it or break it. If it can turn it into support, it's really going to try to push back up. If it can't, it's really going to try to come back down. So it's make it or break it for AMC. We'll see how it reacts when it fills this gap at 2074. So that's going to be my top watch. AMC for tomorrow, SPY for tomorrow. Those are my top two ones that I'm interested in. In terms of other stocks that I'm keeping an eye on, Apple. There is a gap to fill. As you can see, that the gap close reversal strategy works phenomenal on Apple. It literally bottomed right here at 170.21, the exact low, had a very nice reversal. And there's another gap that's coming up on Apple. So in terms of Apple, there's a gap to fill right here at 176.28. That's what I'm waiting for. If this key resistance and this key gap close reversal level can react as a resistance level, I'm going to be looking at micro puts. If we can get some red bearish candlesticks on the daily come in at this key resistance level at 176.28, I'm going to be looking to swing trade puts. So it has to be sitting, it has to be forming bearish candlesticks on the daily in order to swing, which is determined right before the market closes. Anything before then is a day trade. So in terms of day trading, If we can form some resistance at 176.28, I'll be interested in doing some micro puts on Apple. That'd be the game plan for that. So I got my price alert set for that, waiting to trade the best setup at the best price. CVXX is another one on my radar. You could see it triggered dark blue on the squeeze. The chart is extremely overbought. It's extremely overextended. It's due for a pullback. It's really due for a gap fill play overall to like 150. This would be like a 60 to 90 day put option where you just kind of hold it for passive income. This one has a gap to fill at 166.72. It's now approached that level 2 days in a row and filled it. It's reacting as resistance, not the most bullish candlesticks, just kind of sitting up here. However, there is also a gap to fill at 170.90. So it's make it or break it for this stock. I'm still waiting for a good confirmation to be swing trading some midterm put options on this one, because within the next 60 to 90 days, I could see this dropping to about $150. So it's setting up for a great passive income play where you just kind of buy and hold in the money or at the money, safe put options. That's how I trade my options. I stay at the money typically. So yeah, I'm just kind of studying, just kind of waiting for more bearish confirmations towards this level. If it breaks out above this level, the next level I'm looking at is right here for this gap fill play at 170.90. That's going to be on my radar for a passive income put swing. At least 60 days in terms of expiration, stay at the money. Riot is looking a little interesting. It looks like it's really trying to break out. That's a pretty bullish candle. We'll have to see though. If a lot of these stocks get their first red days tomorrow, the main play is just going to be to kind of short them towards open or to wait for them to go back towards their previous closing prices. And then, if they can react as a resistance at that previous closing price, go from, red to green to red, then I'll be interested in put options as well on a lot of these, as they are at some key critical resistance levels for the micro. In terms of NVIDIA, the game plan for NVIDIA is going to be very, very simple. For this one, just wait for the first red day. Once we can get the first red day on NVIDIA, it should be a good opportunity to buy some micro in and out day trade put options. So for this one, I'm just waiting for the first red day. It's extremely overbought for the micro. It's overextended. It's due for a pullback. As of now, in terms of what to do with this, it's literally just wait for the first red day. Once we get the first red day on NVIDIA, I'll be looking to day trade some put options in and out, taking advantage of the downside of that move. Other stocks I'm looking at, that's truly gonna be it. Tesla is also on the radar. It has now turned this key $1,000 resistance level into a strong support level, and it keeps trying to bounce. It keeps trying to rip from that level. So this one I'm just kind of watching, just kind of on the sidelines. Some of these candles are a little weird on a lot of these stocks, and they're sitting towards key resistance. So just kind of seeing how they react, seeing how they respond, see if we can get a first red day. But it's mainly just the sidelines in terms of Tesla. That's mainly how I'm playing it for now. I'm much interested in other stocks. But yeah, those are going to be the top stocks that I'm watching. Now let's get into the quick trade recap. So in terms of the trades that were made today, let's get into this. For those of you who want to know like what the live trading stream is like, I'm going to give you a gift since you stayed towards the end of this video. The second link in the description is going to be the live trading session that we did within Trader Society in the morning. So if you want to watch the recording of the live stream that we did this morning, where you get to watch me trade live, that's going to be that second link down below in the description. So let's kind of recap the trades here. So why did I decide to play Roblox put options at 9:39 a.m.? This was on stream. I actually got in seconds before that. It was at 9:38 a.m. is when I got in. I bought Roblox puts at $1.80. The strike was $49.50 and the expiration was tomorrow. So with that being said, let's pull up these contracts here and let me show you how I was able to make a 40% return in just 3 minutes trading option. So 49.5 put strike, I was in at $1.80. So let's pull these up right here. So if we go to the 1 day chart, you can clearly see right here, we had a massive move up on these contracts. 9:38 a.m. This is literally when I got in. You can see the price. So in terms of the pricing, let me just double check this real quick. So it was the 49.50. 49.50. Let's just double check this. All right, guys, give me 1 second. Okay, so I was looking at a different price. I actually got in towards the 120s on these. That was just a typo. It must have been the 50 strike. It was one of those strikes, but you get the point. Like as soon as I bought these puts, and it was live on stream, like if you want to watch the live stream. But as soon as I bought these puts, this went from 120s all the way to 170s, right? So this quickly went from 120s to 170s, and I sold this for a quick 40% win. And as soon as I got out, literally like right here, it went back to my initial entry, and then it rocketed back up, and then it went even higher. It was crazy. There was 3 opportunities to dip buy this. You could have dip bought these right here, sold for a profit, dip bought these right here, sold for a profit, dip bought these right here, sold for a profit. They went all the way to 253. The contracts exploded. They went from 120s to 250s. That was just simply a typo. But in terms of, Roblox, why did I decide to buy puts on this in the morning? I was looking at the chart, I was studying the 5-day chart, and I was noticing that we're just sitting in a channel. And you could see right here, when this kind of gaps down, it went all the way down to $48, right? From cracking this key 50-50 level. So as soon as I saw that this kind of, had a lot of support here from yesterday towards the 50s, this nice key haul round number, once I noticed that that started cracking and turning into a resistance level, right here, I bought the puts. And within 3 minutes, I got out. As soon as this candle turned green right here, I literally got out towards the lows of this candle. I flipped it for nearly a 40% win. And then the puts went back to my initial entry on the high of this spike right here. And that was another opportunity to buy puts again because it went straight back down. And then it had another small spike and it went even lower. I wasn't expecting it to go that low to 47s. But in terms of why did I get out, so fast on these, I was looking at the chart and I was saying, there's a lot of support on Roblox in the 4860s and the 4870s, and it's got some nice upside potential where it can quickly go red to green to 53. So I wanted to play it safe, and once I noticed I was up like 40%, like at the peak I was up 46% in 3 minutes on these contracts, I was like, yeah, I got to play it safe and I got to lock in the profits. And I locked in my profits. Then it quickly spiked back to my initial entry. Then it sold off again. Then it formed lower highs. Then it went even lower. So no regrets on locking in the profits. Like I would have had to stomach giving back 40% of my profits just to make like another 40%. Like I'm not playing that risk to return ratio. I'm locking in my profits. I'm getting out. And then if anything, you can get back in. We had members, one guy on stream played this twice. He got out on the dip for like a 30% win. And then he played it again as soon as it spiked back up. And then he made like another 30% win back to back. Roblox was crazy. And then I actually played calls on this. I played calls on this as well. I alerted this one in the chat. I bought calls literally right here in the 4980s when this bullish green candlestick formed. Rode it back up. As soon as it started hitting 50-40s, I was all out. I averaged like a 15% win as I was selling on the way up. And then it went green. I was expecting it to go green, but I want to play it safe and lock in my profits as well. I was simply studying this pattern where, yesterday Roblox really turned green after a big pullback, and I was taking advantage of the write up as well. And then SPY. So in terms of SPY, this was a quick in and out win at 3:30 p.m. towards the high of day on SPY. I alerted that I bought SPY puts at $1.90. It was the 450 strike March 25th. So in terms of this was a perfect entry and a perfect exit where you could have made a quick 20% plus. That was alerted right here at 3:30 p.m., which was 3 minutes before the high of day candle on SPY right here. And then in terms of my exits, as you could see, I exited half right here at 3:35 p.m. and then I exited the rest at 3:41 p.m. So my exit right here at 3:35 p.m. was, let's see, nearly towards the lows. And then I sold the rest at 3:41 p.m., which was literally towards the lows before this exploded back up. And it's a good thing I took my 20% profit return on those puts because the SPY ended up running up a little bit higher and those puts would have been down, 15-20% instead of up 20%. So I always look to secure my profits fairly quickly, playing it safe. And if you do that and compound your account, you're going to notice exponential growth over time. At first, you're not going to see it, but I'm telling you, within time, those compounded gains add up exponentially. Like just pull up a compound interest calculator, you see exactly what I'm talking about. So why did I buy the SPY puts? There was a gap to fill at $449.59 as the watch list stated. This is the best level to be buying puts. As soon as the gap filled, so let's draw a trend line here and see how SPY reacts once it filled the gap. So this right here, this is where the gap was waiting to fill that red line. So as soon as SPY filled the gap, it started breaking out. So I told myself, okay, I'm going to wait. Let's see how it reacts. Right here, it's just sitting. It's forming bearish candlesticks, bearish candlesticks, bearish candlesticks. Once I got that confirmation, I said, you know what? I'm going to play the puts. There's not a lot of risk. I'll risk like 20, 30 cents. It can drop like $1. And it went from $449.82 all the way down to 400 and let's see, $448.83. So within those 10 minutes, you could have made a quick 20% return on those SPY puts. And those were alerted like perfectly, literally towards the top. So that's overall the trade recap using the gap close reversal strategy on the SPY. You can use it both ways. As you can see, there was great call opportunities on the SPY recently on the call side. There was also great call opportunities on Apple and several other stocks, you know, with the gap close reversal strategy. So yeah, that's the trade recap. Keeping it very simple. The portfolio is up 7% on the day. So in terms of tomorrow we should have a good setup lined up. We just got to see how these stocks react. But tomorrow's going to be a very important day, guys. The contracts are expiring tomorrow. The returns are going to be very, very lucrative percentage-wise. And there is some good setups lined up. We're going to be watching AMC and SPY closely along with Apple. So yeah, if you do want to be a part of Trader Society, it's going to be the first link down below in the description. You can join. You get instant access, and it's lifetime access. It's a one-time fee. You get access to the chat room. You get access to the daily live trading streams that I do every single day at Market Open. You get access to the stock analysis, the watch list, the real-time trade alerts, entry and exit. You also get access to the video lesson library. This is where you're going to learn the gap method trading system that we're able to use to consistently make money within the stock market. I'm telling you, we had a guy just join the program. He's already doubled his account in the first week. He went from making, his account was at like 20,000. It's at 40,000 now. We have a guy in here making consistently, at least he averages at least like $100,000 a week. It's absolutely insane, man. We have another guy consistently every single day making thousands. Like we have some people in here. It's like the same people, a small group of people consistently killing it every single day. Some of them are frequently alerting their trades as well. But yeah, if you do want to be a part of it, it's the first link down below in the description. The video lesson library, this is where you're going to learn the gap trading system, where you'll learn how to trade. So you're going to learn how to trade these unique gap trading price action analysis, you know, price action technical strategies that we use to consistently make money in the market. You're also going to learn the mindset to trading and the risk management and position sizing approach to trading, right? I'm telling you guys, I have a lot more of a conservative approach to options, and I lock in my profits, I secure my profits, and I compound my account, and it adds up exponentially over time. Like I'm telling you, in just 1 year, you can drastically change your life for the better. And within a couple years, you can see some life-changing results, truly life-changing results. So yeah, that's my type of style. Like I keep it very, very simple, and I'm laser focused on trading the best setups at those prices. So it's going to be the first link down below in the description. I will see you guys tomorrow live at Market Open. The watch list will be sent out tomorrow morning as well.